business.
All right, you guys, welcome to Wine and Wellness Wednesday. I am Lindsay Brantley, the founder of Camellia Alise and the Camellia Alise Academy, and I am super excited to be here with you guys again. So I played today, They Not Like Us. I know a lot of y'all know the song, but you know who's not like me? A scammer, okay? Because the one thing that I am not is a scammer. But let me tell you this, I'm tired of cleaning up the mess of scammers. So I am fixing to do a two-part series. Today I'm gonna do the things you need to watch out for, and next Wednesday, I'm gonna do the questions that you need to ask, okay? Let me give you this disclaimer before I get started. Camellia Academy and Camellia Alise is a 5-star rated business on Google. We are registered on the Better Business Bureau. We are registered with Texas Department of Licensing Regulations, the Texas Workforce Commission, and so many other places, okay? And I say this with all the love and respect in the world. But you guys, there is a way to ask questions and there is a way to approach someone. And at the end of the day, you guys cannot continue effing up, going to people, paying them $200 for a $2,000 class, and then coming into our DMs and thinking that we are going to answer the questions and give you all the things that your $200 instructor for a $2,000 class did not give you. Okay, there is a way to ask for the things that you need, and in some cases you have to pay for those things. But y'all need to stop getting scammed when it comes to your education, when it comes to your equipment, and when it comes to starting your business. I have literally invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into my own education, into the education of my staff, so that we can give you a $500 class or a $2,000 boot camp, okay? And I love y'all to death, but I'm not gonna answer the questions that your $200 instructor doesn't answer, and then you come to us after. And so what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is some questions that you need to ask before you get scammed with these classes and with these schools, okay? Now, I don't mind answering questions, let me say that. I am literally on these platforms once a week because I want to help you guys. I want the industry to do better. But I'm not free and I'm not cheap. I do this because I love it. And then we have people that come in and try to take advantage of the kindness, okay? I am not going to give you a class for free, okay? My staff is not going to sit here and answer hours of questions for free because you don't want to invest in it. You take a $200 class and then you're like, oh, they didn't answer my questions, so let me go to the $2,000 instructor and see if she'll answer my questions for free, okay? That I'm not going to do. I'm here every week. I answer certain questions. I help you guys with the industry. But if you want protocols, you want how long to do it, why should I do this, what kind of contraindications, what settings do I put my machine on, you guys, y'all got to pay for that. Okay, so today is a I'm being very transparent moment, okay, because my staff is tired. I am tired. We are all tired. So what I want to go over today is some of the things that y'all need to look for so that you do not continue to get scammed in your education, okay? That's the first thing. And like I said, I started off with They Not Like Us because, you know what, I'm not a goddamn scammer. And at the end of the day, if I were to take your money and not give you a class and not do this and that, I got a whole lot to lose. So the question is, the person that you're paying that $200, $400, $600 to, what do they have to lose? So what I'm gonna go over today, like I said, this is part 1, stop getting scammed, okay? This is part 1. Part 2 will be next Wednesday, God willing, because For those of you guys who don't know, in Houston, we have been devastated. We had a storm in May that tore trees down in my yard and did all this stuff. And then we turned around and had a Category 1 hurricane that ripped the city apart. There are still people without lights. There are still people without internet. We just got our internet back, which is why it took a week. I wasn't here last week, okay? So God willing, it's been raining today. So God willing, I will be back here with y'all next Wednesday to do part 2. But here are some of the questions that you need to ask and some of the stuff that y'all need to do before you keep paying people to train you, to teach you, to mentor you, to coach you. And they don't know what they're doing, y'all. Stop giving your money away freely. Y'all work hard for that money. So when you invest in somebody, or you invest in a system, or you invest in a thing, what are you doing to make sure that you're not getting scammed? All right? So let me just go over a couple of the things. The first one, number 1, check credentials. How do you spell credentials? Y'all, my bad. Credentials. Y'all know what I mean. Check the credentials, okay? So if somebody is telling you, oh, I've been a nurse for 10 years. I've been in this industry for 15. I've done this, I've done that. A lot of times, it's a simple Google check, okay? Secondly, if somebody claims to be a nurse or an esthetician, that's public records. When was the last time y'all actually checked the person's credentials? Y'all can check mine. All you got to do is a Google search. You'll find my medical aesthetics licenses. You'll find my massage therapy operations license, my esthetician operations license, my esthetician instructor's license. It's public record. What are y'all doing to check people's credentials before you give them $2,000? Okay? Check people's credentials. Stop giving your money freely and then complaining when the shit don't work out. Like I said, today is a transparent one because y'all, I have seen this in the industry for years and years. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. So the first thing that you need to do is check their credentials, okay? The second thing, and y'all, once again, this is free as well. Check references, okay? So the easiest way, okay, absolute way to check someone's credentials, you guys, is a simple Google search. Okay, a simple Google search or a Yelp search or a Facebook page search is the easiest way to check someone's references. What kind of reviews are they getting online? If they're not getting good reviews online, that's red flag number 1. If they have no references, no reviews, no nothing online, that's red flag number 2. And so I will tell you, when we first started off in 2019, obviously we were just launching the school, right? So I wouldn't have reviews for the school. But you know what I would have? My first 5 students that I could send you. So if a person doesn't have any kind of business page, they don't have any kind of Yelp page, nothing for you to check, which they should at this point. But if they don't, ask for references. I need to talk to 1 or 2 students who has actually been through your program so that I can determine if this is what I want to do. If they hang up in your face or they say, I don't have that, you go to somebody else. For me, it's pretty simple, you guys. We've been doing this for years. We've been doing this, over 6 years? I have references. I have students I can send you to. But if you go to a school and they are not willing to share anything with you, go to another school. It's very, very simple. I got to be able to check your reviews. I got to be able to check your Better Business Bureau. I got to be able to check your license exam, something. Y'all are not asking no questions and then get mad when you give a stranger, a scammer, $2,000 and then they don't answer your calls later. They got your money. What do they need to answer your calls for? Y'all have to do your due diligence before you hand them money. I always say call. Pick up the phone and call the office. If nobody will answer your call before a service or before a class, what do you think they're going to do after you give them your money? Right? Y'all have to do better than this. Ask the questions. Check the references. All right? Next thing, number 3. Verify claims. Okay. Now, this one is not always the easiest to do, but it depends on what they're claiming. So let's say somebody's like, oh, I've had 400 students and I've taught in this state and that state. What can you find to substantiate that? Have you seen any pictures, any videos? I have people that's like, oh, I've trained in Africa and I've trained on 10 different continents. There is not one picture or review or anything else from somebody from another continent. So how can I believe what you are saying? Verify claims. For instance, I had a student come to our school, okay, who was taught by somebody that you could take with a cavitation machine fat from the stomach and move it to the butt. We don't do BBLs. Nothing that we do is surgical. So I cannot move your fat from your stomach to your butt. How can that happen? Let me verify that. How can you prove that you can do that? And if they can't prove it and they can't answer your questions about it, perhaps you don't invest in them. You see what I'm saying? So you have to ask the questions before you take the class or hand over a check. And I keep telling y'all, once you hand over a check, it's going to be so much harder, okay, to get that money back, to fix it, to do something later versus asking the questions ahead of time so that you don't waste your money and waste your time with people, okay? Next one. This one is a big one, you guys. Understand the commitment, okay? And it's not just, let me say this, it is not just financial. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say money and time, okay? Because I had someone, I'm gonna leave them nameless, but I had someone that took a class and signed a contract that said they can only do services for that business. So now my money is tied up in that business. My time is tied up in that business, and I don't want to be working for you. I want to be working for myself, right? So if I take a class and I sign your contract and it then says I can only work for you, that might be a problem for me. I might need to reconsider that, right? Or if the commitment is $2,000 plus 40 hours, okay, maybe I don't have 40 hours to give to your program, right? Or maybe I don't have $10,000 to give to your program. Maybe say, oh, it's a $2,000 deposit, but 5 other payments. Wait a minute. I didn't sign up for a $10,000 program. I don't have. So you need to understand whatever program it is, what time is it going to take, and how much money is it really going to cost? Not just the deposit, but the total amount. And do not sign contracts that you can't have a copy of. Anybody that tells me I can't have a copy of the contract is somebody, it's a red flag. I'm out right away. Why would I sign something that you're not going to give me a copy of? You need to know that ahead of time. Why would I sign something that is a contract and it's binding and it says I can do A, B, and C, I can't do A, B, and C. For the next 2 years, you mean to tell me that I can't do body sculpting for any other business but yours? Wait a minute. I might need to revise that contract before I sign it. So understand what kind of commitment you are making with any school, any training program before you hand them over a check, okay? So the last thing, this is the one thing, piece of advice across the board that I'm gonna give anybody that's thinking about taking a course. It's just gonna be research it, okay? So here's my thing. A lot of us, we like it easy, right? We like that. Everybody's going to do the research for us. They're going to tell us A, B, and C. They're going to give us the ins and out. But you guys, take some time, okay? I've literally had people that are like, I watched you for 2 years before I took your class. And that is fine. Am I still here 2 years later? Am I still doing the service 2 years later? Because guess what? I've seen people that were like, oh, when things were good, 2020, 2022, they was teaching body sculpting. When it got slow, guess what? They exited. They doing life insurance. They selling jewelry. They selling shakes and smoothies. And they have nothing to do with body sculpting or body sculpting teaching. But I've been here. And I'm still here. And there are some great instructors who have been here and are still here, right? But who are you following and who are you investing in, okay? Now, next week, part 2 of this, I'm gonna go over the top questions that you need to ask before you enroll in any course. And y'all, this is applicable. This is not just for body sculpting. I know that that's primarily what I do and people watch me for that, but that's for anything. I have heard horror stories for esthetician schools. Y'all are paying $20,000 for a 4-month program to come out of the program and not know anything, right? But what questions did you ask before you took that? Did you talk to one student? One. They have thousands. We have hundreds of students every year that come through our program. Have you talked to one person that took that program before you invested your money? And if you didn't, shame on you. And like I said, at the end of the day, y'all, I am here to make this industry better. I will continue to do so. But I can't continue cleaning up everybody else's mess and y'all expecting me to give you a discount because you took a class with the wrong person the first time. We don't do that anymore. We do not do that. For a while, I was like, oh, they took a class and it was bad. Oh, give them a $200 discount. We're not in that place anymore. My program, it costs what it costs. So if you go to A, B, and C and they screw you over and they're not answering your questions, don't come over here. If you want me to answer your questions, it's going to cost you the same amount that it would cost as any other time. Just because you spent money with somebody else doesn't make it better. And let me tell you this, what y'all are doing, okay, and what y'all are doing is double and triple spending, which makes it even worse. If my class is $500, but you're like, oh, this class is so expensive, I don't want to spend $500 right now, let me go spend $100 over there, but then that's crap, and then you come back later and you still got to spend $500, now you spent $600, okay? So make it make sense. So once again, before I go, you guys, I really just want y'all, stop getting scammed. First and foremost, stop getting scammed by BS instructors, BS schools that aren't really schools, I'll say schools. Check their credentials. In the state of Texas, Texas Workforce Commission is who regulates education services. So if that person cannot give you a TWC number, it's not a real school. Okay, that's even for exempt classes, even classes that are like, oh, it's only on one day, this and that. You still have to apply to the Texas Workforce Commission for any kind of classes that you teach. So if they can't give you a TWC number, they're not valid. Okay, so let me just go over this with you guys really quickly. The top things that y'all need to be considering when you are about to take a class or pay someone for education or pay someone for business coaching or pay someone to help your business get to the next level, okay? Check their credentials. What are they an expert in? Do they even know how to do what you're asking them to do? Second thing is check their references. Who's taken the program? Who's been through the program before? Okay? Because if nobody's been through it, nobody can give me positive or negative feedback, I'm not going to invest in it. Verify the claims. You're over here telling me that I can do A, B, and C. I can make $100,000 in 3 months. How? Show me how you did it. What proof do you have that this actually works? And if you have none, probably not the person for me. Understand the commitment. What is the time commitment? What is the financial commitment? Are you locking me into something where I can't even work for myself? I'm telling you, there are people right now that I know that are like, well, yeah, I signed this contract. I can't work for myself for the next 3 years. So I've got to do A, B, and C for her company only. What? That's a problem. Even the estheticians that work for me, there are certain things where you have a non-compete where you can't literally take my clients and go 2 blocks away, but you can still work for yourself. So what do you mean to tell me you can't do this service for the next 2 years? It doesn't make any sense to me. Or like I said, you coming in from Ohio to take a class in Houston, if I tell you that it's a 40-hour class and you're going to be here 1 day, that's probably going to be a problem. So you guys, ask the questions before you invest your dollars in it. If your instincts are telling you no, go the other way. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your money on things that are not going to serve you. Okay, so ask those questions. And then, like I said, next week, I'm actually going to go over specific questions that you need to ask so that you avoid getting scammed. Because at this day and time, economy, it is hard, and coming by the money is hard too. So why are y'all wasting your money with people who are not gonna serve you, people who are not doing what they say that they're gonna do? I've had students that literally were like, I paid this woman $3,000 for a class plus equipment. I didn't get my certification. It's been 3 weeks. She said she gonna mail out my stuff. It's been 3 weeks. Okay, well, what did her previous students say, right? Maybe it's a supply chain issue. It happens to all of us. But if everybody is saying, I didn't get a certification, I didn't get a machine, that's probably not the best place for you, okay? So look at these things before you invest your dollars. And next week, like I said, part 2, I'm going to go over the specific questions that y'all need to be asking. So I hope that this helped you guys out a little bit. Definitely send me questions. If there's questions that you have between this week and next week that y'all want me to fill in, I will definitely do that. So send them to us via DM. But once again, I love y'all to death, but me and my staff, we can't continue cleaning up everybody else's mess, and we cannot continue answering questions for free. Let me say that. You know, you're like, oh, well, how long do I do this? What do I do here? Oh, my instructor's not answering me. Oh, by the way, I have a certification. Well, if you have a certification, that person needs to be answering your questions. And if they're not answering your questions, unfortunately, we can't answer them for you because we don't know what you're doing. We don't know what you were told. So you guys, y'all are going to have to start booking paid consultations, or you're going to have to start doing things a different way, because we cannot continue cleaning up the entire industry. We can't do that. We cannot do that. So I'm giving you guys the disclaimer now. I'm telling y'all what to look for, what kind of stuff y'all need to ask. I will be back next week to answer more questions. And then after that, my DM's gonna get a little bit lonely, y'all. We can't, like I said, we can't keep answering. We're not answering protocol specific questions. Y'all that are coming in about, well, she told me to do it this way for 30 minutes and do this for that minute for 15 minutes. And can you tell me, is this right? Is this wrong? If you don't trust your instructor, don't take a class with them, y'all. Like, we got to do better. The industry as a whole has to do better. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. I'm looking at the comments. I'm looking at the questions. I don't have any. So I'm going to end tonight, and then I will be back next Wednesday at 5:30 to do part 2 with specific questions that you guys need to ask before you invest your dollars. I hope that this helped you guys a little bit. I'm excited to answer the questions for y'all next week. Know that I am here. I'm here every week, and I will continue answering questions, but we got to have boundaries too, y'all. At a certain point, it's like, okay, I can't every day tell y'all the same thing over and over again. Okay, and then in addition to that, you guys, once again, Christmas in July, it is going right now. If there is equipment that y'all have been looking at, like, oh, Camellia, Alise, they're a little expensive. We got stuff that's starting off as low as $20, okay? We got stuff that's 50 to 85% off. My vaginal machines are cheaper than they've ever been before, and it's only 1 week. It's only through the 21st. So if there's equipment that y'all need, now is the time to shop on our website. It will only be through the 21st. We are now selling the summit tickets. I'm super excited for that. I got some more surprises coming for the summit. So y'all be on the lookout. Follow us on our YouTube page. Follow us on our Instagram page. We are actually, this is for IG. Y'all don't be mad at me, but we are going to be transitioning soon from IG to full-time lives on TikTok. So y'all better start following us on TikTok because a lot of the info gonna switch over to TikTok, y'all. So y'all have an amazing evening. Oh, Kathy said thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, love. Y'all have a great evening. I hope that this helped you guys out a little bit. At the end of the day, I really and truly just want the industry to do better, to be better. I'm tired of people getting scammed. I'm tired of people coming to me like, well, she said that I was going to get 10 hours, but when I went, it was only 2. Okay, but what did her previous students say? Okay, but what did her reviews say? What did her credentials say before you went and spent all that money with her? Okay, so that's the kind of stuff that I'm here to make you guys better, right? I'm here to make myself better, here to make you guys better, and to answer the questions so that we do better in the industry as a whole. Y'all have an amazing evening. I will see y'all next Wednesday. Talk to you soon, and hoping and wishing for amazing, full books for each and every one of y'all so that y'all are staying busy. And I'm about to end this thing the way that they started, but my disclaimer, I'm playing They Not Like Us. And you know who's not like me? A goddamn scammer. I got too much to lose. So y'all have a great evening.